Hey everybody. Today I received in the mail my copy of Misery from the Folio Society, so I'm pretty excited about that. As you can see, it is designed to match and make a nice companion piece to their release of The Shining from a few years ago. But rather than comparing it to The Shining, I would like to compare it. Even though it's not necessarily a fair comparison, I would like to compare it to the Suntup edition, the Suntup Artist Edition of Misery from 2018. So as you can see, the Suntup edition is substantially larger than the Folio Society edition. There's the view from the back. Dimensions are quite a bit larger. These books, the Suntup edition, when it was initially released in 2018, was $110, and adjusted for a few years of inflation, that is right around the same amount, maybe around 115, 117 today. The Folio Society edition is retails for $89.99, so around $90 American is what I paid for it. So the distinction, important distinction, of course, being that Misery is long out of print and now retails for, upwards of $500, and the Folio Society edition is still available. So just starting with the slipcases, the Suntup edition slipcase has a nice, slick, glossy feel to it, and is printed in full color all around. A nice blood spatter on the front. It's a very eye-catching slipcase. The Folio Society slipcase is plain paperboard, cardboard. The Suntup edition one is smooth, and the Folio Society one definitely has more of a cardboard feel to it. The Suntup edition has this nice full color wraparound dust jacket or dust wrapper. The Folio Society has no dust jacket. It does have, however, a nice printed design on the front cover of typewriter. Not a lot of detail in the typewriter, but it is a pretty effective image. The Suntup, of course, the book itself is not quite as, the image is not quite as large, but in its own way is, pretty elaborate itself, with the imprinted typewriter keys, images that spell out the title, and the nice printing on the spine, which I really enjoy. The Suntup edition has a nice, very soft cloth feel, and the Folio Society edition feels to me like cloth that has been treated. I'm far from an expert on book binding, but this definitely has the feel of some sort of hardened and treated cloth, whereas the Misery Suntup edition is much more supple and soft. And I think it was a good choice for Folio to do it that way because, no dust jacket, so the book has to stand up to a lot more immediate wear and tear to the cover, whereas the Suntup one, of course, is covered in that nice dust jacket. The Suntup end papers mimic the design of the slipcase, which nothing wrong with that. It's a pretty cool design. And the Folio Society end papers mimic the design of the Folio Society Shining, with actual text from the book printed across the end papers. Also a pretty cool design. I'm not gonna lie, I like it. The title page of the Folio edition matches the same scene that's depicted on the dust jacket of the Suntup edition. The Suntup edition is signed by the artists, which is really nice. The Folio Society edition is not signed by anyone. And, you know, that's okay, but the signatures are a pretty nice touch in the Suntup edition. The illustrations in the Suntup edition are printed directly into the page block, full color, which I now know after reading and listening to people talk about it is a much more expensive way to produce a book rather than tipping in the artwork. The Folio Society artwork is full color, but on tipped in sheets. And that's okay. The sheets, the artwork, and the Folio Society is printed on this glossy, different type of stock. So, you know, it's pretty standard way to produce a book, and the artwork comes across nicely. But the Suntup just has a leg up in terms of the effort and the quality of the design, in my opinion. The Suntup has one of my favorite features in any book that I own, and that's tied into the scene, the infamous scene with the axe. When the axe comes down, there is a blood spatter across the page. I get such a nerdy kick out of this little effect. It's one of my favorite things about this edition, even though it's a fairly minor thing. It just speaks to the attention to detail. And the Folio Society doesn't have a similar feature, and that's okay. It's just the way the design was done. One nice thing, the Suntup having the artwork printed into the block of the book, the main page block, the effect when you look at it from the side is very uniform and very slick and very clean. The Folio Society, you can see the tipped in illustrated pages throughout. The artwork is, of course, incredibly subjective. I prefer the Suntup artwork. The Folio Society artwork is a little washed out by design. Definitely not a production flaw. It was just an artistic choice made by the artist and by the company. And it's incredibly subjective, but the Suntup art is much more vivid in my opinion, and I enjoy it more. Well, final thoughts. It was never really in doubt for me that I would purchase the Folio Society edition of Misery. I do wish that publishing houses would, I mean, there's so many books that could be deserving of a special edition treatment, and we keep getting multiple releases of the same title from different companies, and you know, I have no idea why that is. And like I said, I'm no expert on publishing, but I love Stephen King. I collect Stephen King, and there was no doubt that I was going to purchase the Folio Society edition of this when it came out. It was when it was announced, it was in stock and ready to purchase, which was really cool. Rather than having to wait weeks or months to receive it, I placed my order and it was shipped out later that same day. 2 weeks later, I received it from England in the United States. Like I said, it's $90, and the Suntup edition, when it was new, is around, $115, $117 in today's money. If these two books were on the market at the exact same time, and you could only pick one, I mean, hands down, it would be the Suntup edition. This was their first release, and every single thing about this book says that Suntup reached for the stars, was swinging for the upper decks to make as big a splash as possible when they entered the market. and they succeeded admirably. Everything from the size to the classy details, the way the art's printed in and not tipped in, the signature. It's understated, but it's incredibly classy. It's probably the nicest book that I own, having mostly been relegated to the realm of gift editions, and being fairly new to this whole world of collecting. But now, the point is, these books were not released at the same time, and the Suntup edition now commands upwards of $500, $500, $600 in good shape, and so it's a big investment. The Folio Society edition is available now for $90 American. If you missed out on the Suntup edition, the Folio Society one, if you're a fan of Stephen King, if you're a fan of the story, is a no-brainer. It's a nice book. It's well put together, handsome. It's got a good feel to it. It's got its own vibe. So if you are at all on the fence about it, I would recommend picking it up. It's pretty nice, and I'm glad I have the two together. If you are really saving up and just have your heart set on the Suntup edition's release, then you might save your money and save that $100 or so with shipping, and just keep saving up for the Suntup edition, because it is far and away the better book, the classier item. But they are both they're unique, and they both have merits. So anyway, I hope this was helpful. I've been looking forward to doing this because I'm a big nerd, but if there was any ever a group of people that could sympathize with that, I know it would be you. So thank you very much for your time, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.